Good morning. Thank you for those waiting and welcome along to part 4 of our Wigan live stream FM21 Beta series. It's great to have you here this morning as we revert to the morning slot for Saturday so we can go and enjoy our weekend after. But we have got some big action first from Wigan Athletic as we try to build on what was an unbelievable start yesterday evening. So we had a few more transfers coming in as we hashed together a squad with just 2.5 weeks after the takeover before the season. Really struggled in the cup games, but then came to life against Ipswich in the league. Today, we've got Gillingham to start with. We'll try and get through at least Portsmouth, Doncaster, and possibly the trophy game as well, just to see how this side's going to build for the year, because I feel like the game that we ended on last night has given us a bit of a false dawn, and I don't want to get too excited if we then go and lose 2 and 3 in a row now. So thank you to everyone who was waiting. Thank you for the thumbs up before we've even started. It does make a big difference. If you are enjoying this one, please do put a thumbs up on it. And thank you so much for your support across the channel the last few days. It has been exceptional. We're growing really quickly. And I can't wait to get more content going next week. But we're going to start today with Gillingham. For anyone who missed out last time, just to let you know, we did finish on that brilliant win at Ipswich. Unfortunately, the centre midfielder on loan from Bournemouth who got that key goal is out today. He's picked up a little knock. Only out for the one game, but he will be missing today, unfortunately. Martin Craney's in, but I've not yet assigned him to the squad, so I'm going to go and do that quickly now. It's just who I take out, really. I feel Chris Merry is the man I should. We've got a goalkeeper signing on standby in case of Jamie Jones. So I don't really know. I think we're going to go for Merry, or do we go for Gardner? It's one of the two. It's going to be Merry. Right, I'm taking out Chris Merry. I'm putting in Martin Craney. And that basically is our squad for the season, unless Jamie Jones gets sold. So Craney, of course, the addition. Zorro, good morning. Welcome along. Thank you for popping in. Great to have you here this morning. Quite a few of you in already, which on a Saturday morning is pretty incredible. So fair play and thank you for the support. But let's have a look at who we did sign in the last week. Just been doing the basic admin, really. So all of the boring bits we've done off camera. We've set up a mentoring group. We've loaned out a few players, offered loads of the youth team out. We've got in Martin Craney on that loan deal. It was already waiting to be agreed on Saturday. But there we go. Martin Craney joins the club. Good utility man to have. For Luton already this season, he's played right back in a back three centre half, left back and centre midfield. He's played wing back. He's just brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. In terms of loans out, Alex Perry's gone to Wrexham. They're paying us a small fee for his services. And Ollie Crankshaw's gone to Stockport, but they're paying all of the wages, which makes the difference. No clauses to be sold yet, so we can't nick any more money, I'm afraid. Hopefully longer term, we'll be able to get some of that, but it doesn't look likely at the moment. We've set up a mentoring group, as we said, and we've been doing a little bit more sort of preventive work in the transfer window to potentially get 1 or 2 more in. So if we have a look, you can see there's loads of young players that we're trying to deal out at the moment. So hopefully some of those will be on their way. We've got Josh Vickers on standby as a new keeper for £550 a week. And I'm just desperately trying to get rid of Jamie Jones, who's on £2,000 and is our backup. And nobody wants him, even on a free. Should we try and loan him out? It's the only thing we haven't tried yet. But in terms of the squad, we're generally happy. We've got one that we think can keep us up, and we're just hoping we can keep everyone fit. So my aim was to go for the first 11 that we played last week against Ipswich because they were brilliant. 12,000 at Wigan, brilliant. But the problem I have is that the assistant is telling me to make loads of changes. And I think this squad's perfectly strong. I think the only thing I'd really like to do is probably take Darnell Johnson off the bench for Martin Craney. But I think the 11, bar Offerball, who's out injured and has been replaced with Tunnicliffe, I'm going to stick the same. Palmer comes onto the bench as a result, and the other 10 are the same that finished at Ipswich. So Evans, the 2 French fullbacks, Tilton, Lynch, the 2 left-footed centre-halves, worked all right last game. Sanchez, Evans, Tunnicliffe, Lang, Hines, Garner. I think we've got a good side there. So let's go and get into it. Martin Craney needs a number. Unfortunately, 29. He deserves a better one than that. But into our first home game of the season, and this is where we'll find out if it's going wrong or not. How are you finding the new condition visuals? I think it's better, to be honest. It's definitely more realistic. I always found it a bit problematic that you could say anyone above 93% we're going to play. I mean, most of the players, I would say, stay in peak condition a bit more than they should, but that will be tweaked in time. But when they're in that little second bit, the good condition but a slightly above injury rate, you've then got a decision to make. And I sort of like that. It feels like how it would be on the training ground. You look at someone and go, they don't quite look up to speed. Am I going to take the gamble? So for me, it's a massive upgrade. And the less numbers and stats on the screen, I think it probably is Football Manager trying to cater a little bit towards the sort of FIFA generation, perhaps, to have icons rather than stats and numbers. And I think that's only a good thing if it brings more people into the game. So, yeah, I'm happy with it. I like it. And I think it's more realistic because you wouldn't have that much detail normally. You wouldn't go, oh, I think he's 93% fit, would you? So, yeah, I think it's a good thing. Into the first half we go. How's everyone else finding the new game? Are there any things that you love? I mean, I found a couple of little glitches, but nothing major, which for a beta is incredible. The only thing we've really had is the kit clashes with the banger save. As Lang's coming forward on the right. He's trying to get into the box here. Delivers to Garner. Heads over the bar. There's a good chance as well. But yeah, we've had that one. And the only other one is when you set the assistant to loan players out and you set the percentage of wage you want on the responsibilities to 100%, it was still offering them out for 0. But they're literally the only two things I found that affect the game, really. So that's pretty incredible. And to get a game out like this in this sort of year, as I said yesterday, rather than all these headline features that try and suck new people in, they've just polished every bit of the game brilliantly. And I'm a massive fan of it, I've got to say. So we've not actually been quite as dominant here as we were against Ipswich. We've done well. Fergus, good morning. Thank you for popping in. We're into double figures already. It's pretty incredible. Thank you all for your support. Please chuck a thumbs up on it if you haven't already. Helps a few people find us, helps grow the community, and hopefully we'll be able to have a productive Saturday morning. SJO agreed, yeah, completely. I think it's probably the best, it's definitely the best beta I've ever played. It's probably not far off the best full game already, which is a remarkable achievement. We've had more of the chances, but we've not really seen much other than that one poor miss from Joe Garner. But we're playing against Gillingham, who are a dark horse for the playoffs. They've signed really well in the summer under Steve Evans. And the fact that we're disappointed not to be ahead, I think is a good sign. I'm going to go positive for the next 10 or so, just to see if we can get on the front foot a bit more. But, you know, Gillingham are masters of the art, being defensive, away from home. As O'Connor plays to Medley, they're coming out from the back again. O'Connor goes long downfield, over the top towards Samuel, and he's in one-on-one here. This is a worry. Good save, Evans. Rebounds in. Oh no, what a recovery. Owen Evans back for the second save. That was ridiculous. I'm not quite sure how he's managed to miss that, but that's incredible goalkeeping. Let's think about some changes, because a couple have had poor games here. I'm going to put Callum Lang up front. He's going to be an advanced forward, I think. Seems to suit him better. And advanced forwards have been the best this year so far for me. Jake, good morning. New subscriber, watch these streams, but first time I've been live watching. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thanks for coming along. The weekend mornings tend to suit a few people better. The weekday ones I used to do in the morning on the 2 days I didn't work. But unfortunately, with the new game, it's just trying to get as many people as possible or suit as many people's conveniences. So I'm glad you're able to come along. Make sure you get a breakfast in bed and relax and watch this one. Jack Clark's coming on the right wing here. I want to save Otterbourne because he can come on off the left if we need to. And Tunnicliffe's been average. So let's get Palmer on. I don't know what he's best at really. No, he can do box to box. So they're the two for now. 25 minutes to go. Let's be honest, before the Ipswich game, if we'd been offered 4 points from 2 games, we would have snapped your arm off. But because the 3 points came against Ipswich, this will probably be a disappointment now. But let's see out this attack. They've gone more attacking, so can we exploit them? Into Lang. There's the goal. Callum Lang. Oh, he's going to be such a good striker. Such a good player he is. Carl, it seems quicker to get through the seasons. Yeah, definitely. The processing is probably behind all of the features that we notice in part of the game. The speed of the processing, the loading, the saving, even loading the game when you click it on a desktop or Steam. That's the biggest change this year. It's the biggest improvement by a million miles. And it's something that will go unnoticed, unfortunately. But the work to get that done, I know it's one of the things that the Miles Jacobson said he was proudest of. It's a fantastic bit of work from the team. As Tilt goes over the top to Lang. What we've done, as Gillingham are going more attacking here, we've brought Otterbourne on off the left. Because he's got that electric pace. He's 17 or 18. So he can just try and get in behind and keep that threat. But they've done the same to us. Jordan Graham scores, but it's going to be disallowed. It was just offside. It was very tight. but we get away with it. We're going to drop back to balanced, and I'm going to wait before I go to the chat in a minute, because just in case we need to creep to the time wasting. As Palmieri throws in from the left, he's a really good player, and you can see he's already managing the time. Clearance goes as far as Carlos Sanchez. Finds Lee Evans, 25 yards out. Through ball to Jack Clark. And he gets his first goal of the club. For the club even. A former Cliftonville hero in FM20. And he's managed to take advantage just as he did before he came on loan from Tottenham. What a superstar. What else have you said, Carl? The scouting is great, especially if you use a director of football, as you can have some influence on the players coming to your club. Yeah, it's sort of, the changes in this year's game have revolutionised the head coach, because we get to have a little bit of a say. I mean, as it stands, in the 2 transfer windows with Breaking so far, we've had 8 or 9 agenda meeting items for positions and things like that. And it's only actually led to 1 signing. But it is 1 signing from those positions. So it's had a tiny influence. And it's realistic, because you wouldn't get all of those targets. But it's given us a little bit of say, and sort of made our relationship with a director of football as realistic as it would be at most clubs. And of course, at some clubs, the director of football will go rogue and he'll do what he wants. That's fine, that's realistic. But at least, yeah, you're right, it's great to have a little bit of say. So we beat Gillingham 2-0, and after 2 games, we are alongside Sunderland, Plymouth and Lincoln at the top of League One. Did anybody expect that when 3 weeks ago we couldn't even sign a free agent? Because I certainly didn't. Thank you to everyone popping in as well. Great to have you here this morning. Lovely to have a bit of chat. Lovely to have a bit of Football Manager. We'll stay live till about 11:30, 11:45. Just get through a few of these games. And if we can stay near the top of the table, this might end up being our favourite season. No one wants Jamie Jones because, well, they've probably seen his attitude in pre-season for us. But we are getting loan offers for some of these other players. My hope is if we can loan out 7 or 8 of these young stars, that we might be able to get just a little bit of a free agent deal going. So these guys aren't offering any wages, so I can't do that. Jack Sanders is going to have to stay if that's the case. But if we can get 3 or 4 grand off the wage bill, I'd be very happy. Have you found there's a lack of penalties this year? Not sure if it's more because there have been so many in real life. Yeah, I think a lot of us, I don't know about your save, but most of us start probably in the lower leagues, where there isn't actually any more penalties than there was before. I think what's happening in the Premier League and last season in Serie A and La Liga has really spewed the view of a lot of fans. Because like if you go down to the Championship with Luton, I think we've had 2 penalties, 1 for and 1 against this season. I might be corrected there. And that's in, 15, 20 games. So there's not a huge amount. It's just the Premier League because VAR's giving so many more. But I would say from the lower leagues where I'm managing, it's not a huge amount different. I've had with Bangor City, we've had 1 in favour and 2 against. And with Brecon, we've had 3 or 4 against. So I'd argue that that's been fair. I guess the proof will be in the pudding when we get to the Premier League, which hopefully we will in the head coach. But if you're managing in the Premier League already, then if you're not getting many, I guess that's VAR not being implemented as well. But it's probably being implemented correctly in Football Manager, which is something that can't be replicated in real life. Styler, good morning. Welcome along. Watching the head coach series, loving it. That's fantastic news. Thank you for your support with it. I mean, the head coach, the first episode has been incredibly supported. I mean, for a channel my size, to get 2,000 views nearly in 3 days, to gain 100 and whatever subscribers in 3 days, it's ridiculous. So I can't thank you all enough. It's lovely as well for things like streaming. I only started doing it a few months ago. As Offerball picks up another injury. Is this why he was so cheap? Because he's injury prone. Tunnicliffe's good enough though, so we're alright. But yeah, in the last few months since I've started streaming, it's been great to have so many of the regulars in. And in just the last week or so, lots of new faces creeping in between it. It makes it such a big difference. And I know at the weekends now, I've never streamed really at the weekend before. Some of the regulars wouldn't be able to come in. So to then see new faces is absolutely brilliant. So thank you for coming along. We have got a few more games to play today. It's Pompey away next, and they're going to be right up there with the promotion favourites, aren't they? It looks like they've got a couple of injury problems, but we're starting to have our own here. Curtis Tilt might be back. There's 4 days to the next game. I just wanted to see, when we look at the season preview, what the odds were. Because Ipswich, where are they? They're down in 10th. So maybe it wasn't as good an achievement as we thought. Gillingham 15th. We're now predicted second. Where did that come from? We were expected to finish bottom before the takeover just 3 weeks ago, and now we're expected to finish second. So I'm going to make a suggestion here. How many players have we bought in? Ourselves, we've bought in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 players, and we're now gone from being the worst team in the league to the second best. So maybe those signings and the star ratings are not as far off as we thought they were. Portsmouth are third favourites. So suddenly, we've gone from, can we keep this club afloat and in League One? Can we play with a shoestring squad? To now, can we live up to the hype of being promotion favourites? Absolutely brilliant. Jake, I'm in Blythe in my save. Second half of the season and not 1-4 against. Agree around top tier decisions. However, my team Sunderland still have 3 or 4. Even without the fans in, the ground still gets you the big ones. Although to be fair, when we came to Sunderland with Luton, we had a penalty, didn't we, that got us a point in that game. I mean, we were brilliant. We probably deserved to win it until the red card. And John McLaughlin, you had in goal that day, made one of the best saves I've ever seen live in the flesh. But I can't speak highly enough of Sunderland and the fans. For an away day, I mean, we've talked about it on this channel before on the Review the 92 series. Sunderland away is one of my favourite away days I've ever had. Because the fans were so great. We were on the Metro back because my mate lived up north. So we were on the Metro with all the Sunderland fans rather than the Luton fans post-game. It was just brilliant. You could tell the fans are hurting, but they're good people. So I've got nothing but good words to say about Sunderland. I know a lot of people like to take the mick out of what's happened to them, but I wish them all the best. It looks like the takeover's going through now as well, doesn't it? I don't really know much about the minority shareholder though, so I'm not sure how that will go. Up to Sunderland. Dropped you a sub as well. Very kind of you. Thank you. I've gone from 4 favourites at 25-1, favourites 1-93 with a few loan deals at Queen's Park. Wow. Do you know what? That's the only other thing that I found bizarre this year. It's not necessarily a glitch, but the 1-91s and the 1-93 ons for the odds. I don't think they're particularly realistic ones, but there you go. It's a small price to pay, and I'm not going to be worried about that. I've just got to say it's a fantastic game. If you haven't got it yet, definitely go and get it. For the amount of hours of joy it gives us, it's well worth the 30-35 quid it is at most retailers. They deserve the money. Otterbourne reunion. I didn't know he was ever at Pompey. So Solomon Otterbourne used to play for Portsmouth apparently. When did he do that? 89. Oh, it's only 7 games. I was going to say, I remember him from Birmingham and Blackpool, but I never remembered him at Pompey, and that's because he was barely there. We're still getting suggestions to change the back 4. Is that just because Curtis Tilt is injured still? Oh, he's out for a day. I think he'll be alright tomorrow. It's going to be one of those ones where we get to test the new condition rating, isn't it? Yeah, the new owner's only 22, but he's a rich kid, so hopefully it doesn't go wrong. The only problem is, I know when I was 22, I was a little bit brash and wanted to have it all my own way. So there is a worry that he can try and get involved in the football inside and make rash decisions. But if he's got good people around him, it won't be a problem. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Presume, welcome along. Good to see a regular in. I found it a lot easier than FM18 or 19. I would say slightly easier. Only because we've... I don't know if I can say that actually, because with Bangor City, obviously, we're expected to be top of the league. So the fact that we're doing well isn't a problem early in the season. The Brechin one, I would say for anyone who's up to date, up to yesterday, things are going slightly better than expected. But I think that's just because the director of football was efficient. So I don't know if it's just that the transfer market, the non-human teams aren't quite as good in the window as we are. But I wouldn't say it's too much of a change. And I don't want to say anything because you know what the head coach is like. I'll probably end up getting sacked next season. So I don't want to make too many bold statements. We've got a lot of these little press conferences. I like these little one-answer ones. They're sort of like remote Zoom calls or something, aren't they? Which really does make a difference. Makes it a lot shorter and more manageable as well. Callum Lang, he's been training well every week. I can't keep criticising him. I will criticise Craney though, because I expect more from my professional Luton, man. I will try and get him a debut soon. We've got that trophy game coming up, haven't we? So we can get a few of them in. Jake, I went to your place the same season. We came away thinking we should have won and a point was a bad result. Turns out we were only... Yeah, because it was right at the start of the season, wasn't it? We had the same at the start of that year. We had Sunderland at home, and then I think the game after was Charlton. They were our first 2 home games, because obviously we'd just come up from League 2. And we sort of were bedding in, like when we played you, the new back 4 hadn't been established. We were still playing the one from the year before pretty much. And you guys and Charlton absolutely battered us, and we were lucky to get a point. And then by the time we came up to you guys, we thought, well, we're unlucky not to get a win here. Unfortunately, we went to Charlton and got absolutely battered in April. Lyle Taylor ran the show that day, but we still won the league. That ended a 29 match unbeaten run or something. The Luton rise from 5 years in non-league going to recreation centres and things like that. It's been a remarkable rise back to where we were and where we're supposed to be. So I do take the sympathy for other fans, but we watch non-league football for 5 years again. So for Luton Town, it's great to be back. And this year we're flying, to be fair. Presume because I won promotion to the Prem with Millwall's with no signings. But don't forget, Millwall finished 4th last year. They were in the playoffs and they were unlucky not to go up. They've got a really good squad. And they had Troy Parrott on loan the first season, didn't they? And I think he's marked as a wonder kid in here. Let's just go and have a quick look at Millwall to see where they are. Yes, I mean, look at him. He's one of the best strikers in the Championship. I'd argue FM have slightly overrated him for the start of the game. He'll become an excellent player, but I don't know if he's quite at that standard already. People like Miranda is a top player. Jed Wallace, he must be rated super on here. He's Premier League standard. Jake Cooper, wow, he's Premier League standard. Bielkowski, very good Championship keeper. So, I mean, I would look at that squad and expect them to be in the playoffs. I wonder where they're predicted. Season preview. They've got them 17th. In that case, the attribute ratings across the board must have gone up a lot this year. Unless they've sold a star in pre-season. No. Well, in that case, I am a bit surprised. Oh, Miranda wasn't there, sorry. That's a bit of a strange one. But they look excellent on paper. So maybe it's just the only thing I would say is maybe it's that pre-season preview of where they're predicted to finish. Maybe that's the bit that's off. Because we've seen with Wigan, we've gone from 24th to 2nd with what is largely squad signings. Yeah, Parrott and Jed Wallace, Clark, I mean, they look good players. Cooper looks sensational. If I was a Premier League club, I'd be going straight for him. On that subject, very quickly, once the beta's finished, we'll be moving on to a regular full live stream save. You can vote for that over on the community page. There's 4 options, and it's basically neck and neck at the moment. So choose the one you'd like to see the most, and you'll shape what the live streams look like on this channel from the 24th onwards. Unless, of course, we get promoted or relegated here, then we might have to do a second season. I'm just seeing if we're going to go with the same 11 again. I don't see any reason to change it if Tilt is fit, which he is. He's in peak condition, his injury susceptibility is low. And to be honest, I don't really worry about the rest. The main thing I'm looking at is, are they susceptible to injury, particularly when they're coming back from one. The fatigue's important later in the season, but not at this stage. And we haven't got, of course, Offerbore, who's still out injured. So same 11, same 18, hopefully the same result. It's been a remarkable start. I didn't expect to be up here. Do you have a Saturday? Not really now. Not really since not going to football. When we used to go, we used to do a 50p one on the way and just do like an outlandish one. That would be like 100 quid or more. But yeah, we used to just do that. There was 3 of us who go to the Luton games and we used to just do a 50p special each. And then see how it went at the end of the day. I mean, I think the last time I won one was 2013. Which was about 95 quid or something like that. But as long as the main thing is it's in control, and 50p a week, it's never changed in 11, 12 years, so that's the best thing. Long ball forward here on the left hand side. Pompey coming forward straight away. Into the box they go. Don't bring him down. Oh, I thought we were going to get a penalty just after we talked about them. Naylor in the middle. You can already see what a ball that is. Harness in, and Pompey look a class above everyone we've played. Ipswich disappointed. Gillingham was solid but not good going forward. And Portsmouth, wow. They are going to blow this league away if they produce moves like that. That was like Wenger's Arsenal in their prime. Thank you to everyone coming along as well. Still in double figures, which is pretty remarkable. Please do chuck a thumbs up if you haven't already. Come and get involved in the chat if you're new. And to all the regulars in, as always, thanks a lot. It's great to see so many of you in. We will be live tomorrow morning at the same time as well, as we've equalised with Lee Evans. The Welsh international has come to the party. He is the best player on paper, or was when we started this. And we need a few goals from him like that. Goals from midfield is going to be crucial. Garner sets it up, the good old target man play. And Lee Evans makes it 1-1. We don't deserve it, but with half an hour gone, we'll take it. So yeah, we will be live at 10:30 tomorrow as well, from wherever we leave off today. If we don't get to the trophy game, we'll play that off camera and then come back for the league game, because nobody cares about the EFL Trophy since the under-21 teams went in. It's turned a brilliant competition into a rubbish one, essentially. As Harness has it on the right to O'Reilly. I mean, Pompey are outplaying us here. I've got to be honest. It's into Huula, and he's headed away as far as Evans. Flicks on, and it's straight back to him. This is like how we were against Ipswich. We can't get out of our own half because they've got that holding midfielder who just picks it back up. And it's exactly what we had with Sanchez. As Huula scores, Coventry released him, and they're struggling for goals. And he puts the ball in the back of the net for Pompey. 2-1, and they thoroughly deserve it in truth. Great player, Harness. Battered us in real life a few weeks back. Yeah, he's always been a good pro, Harness, actually. And he scored again, Huula. It's 3-1. Oh, my words. This is the sort of thing I don't understand. Are we just going to be inconsistent because the squad's gelling? Are Pompey that good? Which, I'm looking at some of the names in that team. Watmore was always a wonder kid. O'Reilly was always a wonder kid. Harness, we've talked about being a good player. Huula was in a League One winning team last year. So maybe it's just that Pompey are champions in waiting. Garner's into the box though. Can we make it 3-2? Maybe it's just going to be a classic. Because it is 3-2 on a stroke of half time. And we did not expect that. What a fantastic first half it's been. Caelan Hines is struggling. But we have got options off the bench. And at half time we're still in the game. Pompey will be devastated that they're not further ahead. But we are going to thrash the arms. No, we're not. No, let's just be relaxed. No pressure. The assistant recommends it. They're all demotivated. But hey-ho. I think we're going to be good this year. Our close was brilliant for me. Was it Salford in FM20? I think he was great at. And then at centre-half, Raggett's a brilliant player. I always remember his goal from the... Was it Burnley-Lincoln, the FA Cup run? I'm sure it was away at Burnley he scored the winner. As Harness back to Johnson into the box. Huula completes the hat-trick of headers. Is he that good in the air? I mean, he was good at Coventry last year. I mean, I talked on the podcast predictions about the fact they were struggling for goals and letting him go wasn't going to help. But I didn't expect him to be that good against us. As Lang goes straight down the other end, into the box. Oh, he's appealing for the penalty, but he doesn't get it. And it's brought away down the left by Pompey. Up to Huula, wins another one. Oh my word. He's basically turned into Messi, hasn't he? First touch and turn is absolutely incredible. And now the assistant says, why don't we close him down? He's not even that good. I mean, he's a good footballer, but he's not spectacular. This is very difficult to take. We'll go and make a couple of changes on the hour mark, but I think we're just going to have to accept defeat here, I'm afraid. We'll replace Caelan Hines with Jack Clark, who scored last time. Lang will switch to the left. Well, it says Garner's in danger of losing discipline. So should we take him off as well? Lang up front, Otterbor on. And Tunnicliffe's been average again. So we'll make the same change. In fact, no we won't. Let's cancel that one. Let's bring Gary Roberts on instead. We'll put Sanchez in centre mid. And we'll go back to the tactic we played in the last game. I think I've gone to set pieces by mistake there. Let's go back to the tactics. Gary Roberts will go number 10. He's going to be an Engash, which is what he prefers to be. Ball win up for Carlos Sanchez. And Lee Evans will stay. This time as a deep line playmaker. In fact, no, he's had a good game. Let's push him forward. We're 4-2 down. What is the point in us being defensive? He can be an advanced playmaker on support. We're going to go positive. Is there anything else we can do? Run at the defence more with Clark and Otterbor on. We're going to whip crosses in because we've got a shorter striker up there. And I think we'll hit early crosses because we seem to be getting success from there. I think everything else is fine. When we lose it, we're going to counter press. When we're out of possession, we're going to push higher up, we're going to stay on our feet, and we're going to stop the keeper going short. I know this is risky, but let's go for it. 4-2 down, there's no harm in trying. Still in double figures, thank you for sticking along. I do appreciate it this morning. Should get at least one more league game in and possibly the trophy tie against Liverpool, as we've got a chance to attack here down the right. Cleared away as far as Sanchez to Evans. 1-2 to Satut, the right back. They've been good actually, the two French wing backs. Over the top there, which Raggett heads away. We know his aerial threat. We talked about it a few minutes ago. Long ball up. Hawula again. He has won everything off our centre-halves. I want to give Curtis Tilt the benefit of the doubt because of the little knock. But I don't think it's that, as Lang picks it up. He's our superstar, running in behind. Back to Roberts, to Solomon Otterbor. To Sanchez. Inside to Evans. There's no real breakthrough. It's just a bit too nice, isn't it? No one's willing to take that risk. Evans now the playmaker. To Lang. To Clark. Someone gamble. Someone gamble. Clark to Lang. Clark again. Just over the bar. It wasn't a great opportunity. We're playing very narrow there, which I don't really understand, to be honest. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the attacking width is wide. But the fullback, the wingers just weren't there. Jack Clark was playing in the middle of the pitch. It's a bit bizarre. But with 10 minutes left, I think we're going to lose, unfortunately. It looks like it's going to be a comfortable victory for Pompey. Just 7 minutes left. We'll go attacking. We'll fire them up, but I think it's too late. A thoroughly deserved victory for Portsmouth. A 4-2 win, our first defeat of the league season. And basically a smack back down to reality. 6 points from 3 games. With the start we had, we would have taken it. A few unhappy about that. So Portsmouth, I think, are promotion favourites. I know Hull were ranked up there, but they've started poorly. Sunderland are up there as you'd expect. And Lincoln are off to a flyer. But for me, 6 points from 3 games, it's not the worst in the world, is it? Doncaster at home next. Traditionally a good League One side, but they've started poorly here again. I think we can be happy with the start still. Jordi Hula won the game on his own there. Now this is the thing we talked about. The recruitment meetings. One of my favourite other additions as well. I mean, let me know if you've had any success with these. But for us, it's looking at the Director of Football and Scout about where we want to improve. So let's see what they're suggesting. They're suggesting a replacement for Garner. Okay. I guess we could keep Callum Lang up there, couldn't we? So I would say we probably don't need that. And we've still got Will Keane at the club. Goalkeeper, definitely. You're spot on there. And then is there anyone else I want to add in? That's the main question. I think I might add in another centre-half. Or do I want to add in even a midfielder again because of the injuries we're getting? And we've also got to think about the squad depth. Because if we put someone in, we've got to take somebody out of the squad. I mean, at centre-half, we're a little bit light. So I'm going to go for one of them. And we'll just see if that works out. It's a nice short one. So, let's see the reports for goalkeeper. Seydou Sai is a free agent. He looks good. Let's get him on trial. Nice and easy. Christopher Dilo. He looks good. Let's get him on trial. Brandon Austin's on the Tottenham loan list. Not good enough, unfortunately. Luca Ashby-Hammond. He's the goalkeeper who's brilliant youngster, but I really don't like him because his reflexes are poor. And I've always found that to be the most important in FM. A 37-year-old Brian Murphy is a model pro, though. We'll have a look at him, actually. We'll have a look at him. He's in the scouting range, so it's fine. Alan Mannis, the 38-year-old goalkeeper. Was he at Southampton back in the day? No, I've completely made that up. I think I'm thinking of Blaney, the other Northern Irish one. So we'll let him go because he's not good enough. And he was the last one on the list, I think, wasn't he? Not a bad start. Not a bad start. There's a few being offered that are good. So we're going to go and do some focusing on targets. We're going to set it to 3.5. We'll set the benchmark high. And we'll focus on targets for that role. Let's look at the others. Bamford Diakite, a winger, nowhere near good enough. And Yuri Skalak from Millwall, who we were talking about. He's past his prime and he's on big wages. So nothing from him. We don't need to worry about that. Let's go on to the ball-playing defender. So that's what we've got at the club. But Johnson is our backup right back. Naismith is our backup left back and left winger. And Craney's really the only one left. So let's set a short-term focus. We want 3.5 ability, or we can put it down to 3, I think. 3-star ability, 3-star potential. And let's find some targets. With a window a week away, 2 goalkeepers coming on trial, but they can't really join unless we get Jones off the wage bill. And nobody seems to want to buy him. So Dilo's only 3-star. He's not really a big upgrade on any of them. Ours are 2.5. So to get in a player, we've got to have a bigger upgrade than that, I think. Seydou size 3.5. Played games for Monaco. When were those games though? He played 3 the season before. He might be the one. Work permit issues. Let's see what it says. We'll go for him as a first choice goalkeeper. So he needs to earn 2.4 thousand a week to get a work permit. We can't offer that. We can offer 2.3. How convenient. So no Seydou Sai, unfortunately. Unless a couple more of those youngsters go out on loan and get the wage bill down. Thank you to everyone coming in. Still near double figures at this stage. Really do appreciate it. Please do come and get involved in the chat. Chuck a thumbs up on the video. As we head towards transfer deadline day. That might be where we finish, because Doncaster is the last game before it. We can play the trophy game off camera if needed, because we're not worried about that. It's just a chance to play the reserves, keep them happy. But is there any good news coming? That's the main question. They're telling us to add players to the mentoring group. Tom Pearce is a bit old for that, I think. Oh, he's only 22. Oh, we'll add him in then. I didn't realise he was so young, to be honest. If we can win the home game against Doncaster and get 9 points out of 12, I think that's probably the strongest start we could have hoped for. Doohan's being recommended as a keeper, but he's not quite good enough. We will have a look at our scout reports, though, just in case there's anyone else. If we get them in order there, we could loan Alex Hunt. I don't know that he'd get enough game time, though. And I don't really want to keep these kids here playing no games. He's not a natural in the roles we use, really, as well. There's not a great deal available there. Most of the others, they're asking for money, and we haven't got any budget available. If we put them in ability order, there's still no one pressing Ashley Williams, who is the man who has still ruined this save by not accepting that contract at the start and running off to the MLS. But we will recover against Doncaster, I hope, and we will have a positive end to this. We'll get the Doncaster game in. We'll see how busy deadline day is. And hopefully, we'll be able to squeeze the trophy game in as well. But I've got to stay positive because it has been a good start to the season. If you take out that Pompey game, who are promotion favourites, we're delighted with the start. We didn't expect 6 points. Offerball got 3rd for Young Player of the Month. He only played in the one game. I know he was very good in it, but he's been injured since. So Josh Vickers as the keeper, I think we have to give up on him now because Jamie Jones isn't wanted. So we're not going to have the space in the squad and we're not going to have the wages freed up. It would have been lovely to have a backup keeper on a quarter of the money, but it's not to be. So unless we can get a big first teamer in, we won't be replacing Jones in the squad. But we are through to Doncaster now, essentially. Gary Roberts, he's only got a contract till the end of December. Can we extend it? Oh, he takes a wage cut as well. What a lovely bloke. That could help us out. So let's get him down a little bit. I'm going to try and be cheeky and push it down quite a lot. He wants a contract extension after 5 league games. But he's already got a 2-year deal there, so that's fine. 1.4 thousand. That's over £1,000 a week wage cut. You've got to be fair. That's a really good gesture from him. We'll have to look at some of the others as well, because there's quite a few January ones there. Will Keane, Solomon Otterbor, Gardner will let go, and a few of the loanees as well, particularly Curtis Tilt, who we can't yet extend the loan of. But we need to keep them for the season, really. I'm going to add Jamie Jones to the unwanted list, because I just want him out of the club. He annoyed me in the first episode, and he's still doing it now, because nobody wants him because of his attitude. Thank you for creeping in as well. Good to see the numbers creeping up. Please do chuck a thumbs up on it if you haven't already. Just a reminder, we have finished now with the triple headers this week because we'll be going back to work mode for the day job. So from now on, 3:30 every day for the next week and a half. There will be a live video from Bangor City or the head coach rotating each day. And then we'll have our live streams every weekend day at 10:30. And then every weekday from Tuesday to Friday at 5:30. Monday being the day off. And the only reason is statistically it's the quietest day on the channel. So that's why. We've been linked with crude Exeter defender Pierce Sweeney. Well, we can't afford to buy him, and he's a fringe player at Exeter, so no. Maybe that's someone they've looked at when I've asked for a centre-half. I wonder if we can have a look at those scouting reports. Jack Bonham's recommended, Gillingham's goalkeeper. He's very good, but we can't afford to sign people. Harker's not good enough. Greg Halford is a bit past his best. Ryan Shotton. He's playing for Leek on a non-contract terms. That's incredible. We'll definitely take him if we can get him. What a find that is. He wants to be a regular starter, I think. No, important player. If we can get him for around £2 a week, we've got the best thing he offers us is the long throw specialist as well, which might open up the goals chart for us. So let's just try and get this down as much as we can. He's playing in non-league, so he shouldn't really be too fussy. But of course, if he's comfortable and he's at home, he might not want to move across. And has he played for Wigan before? Let's offer 2.3, 11. Keep the agent fee up. We'll actually increase it by £100. And we'll keep everything else the same. Oh, he's rejected it. Oh, Ryan Shotton, what are you doing to me, son? I'm going to offer him a week's trial just to see if on deadline day we can get him. He's got to be the one. His talent is... He'd probably be the best at the club. And he'd play alongside... Tilt. Pierce is out with a slight knock. Lee Evans has to leave Wigan to get an international call-up. No, he's not going anywhere. And I'm going to say just that. We have to find a way to get Shotton in. We really do. Giggs is open to considering Lee Evans for international selection. So yeah. Of course he should. If he's playing well, he should be getting a go. Carl, thanks for popping in. Go and do a Tony Pulis on Jones. Shotton has a pub near Leek. Oh, does he? I never knew that. Get Ricardo Fuller. He's at Hanley. I think he's a bit further over the cliff in terms of physical stats. I didn't know about the Ricardo Fuller one, actually. We interviewed Richard Paquette on the podcast, and I'm sure he mentioned it. Yeah, he's a little bit more over the hill at 40. Ryan Shotton is essentially only just past his prime, isn't he? 32 years of age. Still got his physical stats. I can't believe he rejected us. Has he rejected the trial as well? Oh. I really want to sign him. I'm going to regret missing that deal. We should have waited a week until we got the wage bill down. I've got to leave 10 grand in to cover the fees for the agent fees and the signing ons. Have we got any more youngsters that are ready to go out on loan? Are there any that are wanted? We've got to get this wage bill down. I think all of the others that are in here, none of them are wanted. And to be fair, they're largely the worst ones that are left. This Pigot's been here a year. I wonder if we can get rid of him. Would anyone be willing to buy him? I just don't know. I guess money's tight at the start, isn't it? It's a bit frustrating, but we'll try and find a way around this. We'll try and offer out Gardner again. And we'll try and offer out Jamie Jones again. He's the one that's causing the biggest headache. We're just desperate to get him out of the club. And even the director of football can't do it for free. No one will take him. I guess the only other thing we can try with these guys is would they take a lower wage for their January deal. But I think the likes of Otterbourne and that are more likely to want a bigger one. Yeah, Otterbourne wants a wage rise, so we'll try and leave that. Will Keane, perhaps? I mean, I wasn't planning on keeping him, but if he'll take a wage cut, he won't. And he's only on £1 a week, so why would he? Last one I'm going to try is Lee Evans. He's the highest paid player at the club. He's going to want a wage rise, though, because he's one of the ones who's sticking with us. Let's see what he says. Oh, he's asking. No, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. I've got a bit of a quandary here. I'm kind of regretting signing Nathan Dyer now, but without that, we probably wouldn't have had the reputation to get a couple in. So we have had an offer for Joe Pigott from Cheltenham. It's only 500 quid, but if it gets 600 off the wage bill as well, that'll help. He must be happy as a pub landlord. It suits some after the pressure of top tier football. I mean, he's been playing Premier League and Championship for nearly on, 12 to 15 years. Some people just like that step back and doing something a bit more relaxed afterwards. So Gardner's wage demands are the problem. So could perhaps we offer him out for 50% maybe? It's another 600 quid a week, isn't it? He's only on deal till January. So should we just do that? Should we do a 3-month deal, 50% of the wages, and see if anyone comes in for him? As it happens though, we've reached the Doncaster game. We still haven't got Offerball available. I do want to think about changes, but Joe Garner's putting a spanner in the works because he's playing really well. Hines in his last game wasn't great. So do you know what? We'll take Hines out. We'll put Lang on the left and we'll put Clark on the right. I think aside from that, it's basically the same squad we had before. There's no need to change it because bar that Portsmouth game, we've been brilliant. And the only thing I really want is Shotton to replace Lynch in the first 11. But let's go and get into it and see how we get on. We're at home to a side who have struggled at the start here. So fingers crossed we can get on top. Thank you to everyone coming in as well. We're back up to double figures. Double figures on the likes as well. I really do appreciate it. On a Saturday morning, you're dedicated people. I absolutely love it. We'll be live at 10:30 tomorrow as well. Exactly the same time. Exactly the same save. Just after the transfer window. So Lang comes down the line to Garner. We've started well here. We will go positive if we need to. Because we've got a side that can control the ball now. As Lang picks it up on the left. He's got an overlap from Palmieri. Chance to cross, delivers in. Tunnicliffe's there to Clark. What a save. Ryan Tunnicliffe up in the box, doing a great job there. But unfortunately it wasn't finished. Shotton's rejected coming up to Scotland as well. Yeah, I can understand it. Some people just prefer to drop down. I mean, one of the options I put for the live stream save was Ballymena United. And they've just signed Shay McCartan, who was flying at Bradford in League 2. And now he's come down to play semi-pro football because he just wanted to go back home, relax and get involved in the family business, which for some people that's what they want and you can't begrudge that. We are going to go positive because although we're on top, we're not creating too much. We're going to demand a bit more. We're going to close down Jordan Spence. I really like the new layout for the analytics and dugout updates. You're getting like the scores coming in like you would from... You've always got someone on the phone, haven't you? You know where you are in the table. You're getting assistant manager updates. I mean, match day is so smooth. I absolutely love it. Sanchez picks it up in a holding role. Back to tilt. I'll be honest, actually. The way Tunnicliffe's playing, Sanchez might be the one to give way when everyone's fit. As he picks it up again in the middle. Worrying about them yellows, though. Into Lang. Oh, it's a brilliant finish. Callum Lang, second of the season. And the perfect time to score just before the break. It is 1-0 to Wigan. And we are starting to look like a side that can compete in that top 6. If we can win most of our home games, pick up a few on the road like we did at Ipswich, this could be a very good season for us. We're going to pump the fists. We know we're capable of even more. Owen Evans a slight weak link in goal. He's still struggling a bit with inexperience. But the only reason he's in there is because of the disappointment of the attitude of Jamie Jones. So we've got to replace Jack Clark. He wants to come off with a twisted knee. I think we should replace him with Otterbourne. Do it. I trust you. Joe Garner's not had the best game, so he could still bring on Hines off the left, or even try him up front, because Lang's playing well out wide. As Tilt heads the ball away to Smith. He finds John Jules. That's an Arsenal youngster, isn't it? Coppinger's still in there, 39 years of age. Scored in the FA Cup the other week, actually. Brilliant player. Out to James on the left-hand side, into Tullock, to John Jules. Oh, it's back on level terms. That is not good. Let's fire the boys up. Let's go and make some changes as well, because I'm not particularly pleased with that. It's all starting to fall away. Carlos Sanchez has not had the best game. Let's bring Palmer on. Tunnicliffe can go hold in midfield. He'll just be a defensive midfielder. Don't want him getting booked. Palmer can stay box to box. Garner will be replaced by Caelan Hines. And he will be... I don't know which role he's best in, to be honest. So Hines is better out wide. And Callum Lang's as good up front. So we'll go for advance forward. Just see if we can nick a winner from somewhere. because we've been the better side, but we've conceded a few chances. And it's another corner for the visitors. John Jules heads just wide. And I'm starting to get a little bit concerned here, because this has not been the best start to the second half. 20 minutes to go. We might be a bit more aggressive in a moment. So let's go to the instructions. Whip crosses for the advance forward. Hit them early. It's what we did against Gillingham, basically, isn't it? Run at the defence more. Press. Should we press a little bit higher? I mean, I think we've got a pretty athletic team now, so we could push up in theory. But they've got a quick attack, and that's the bit that worries me as well. When possession's lost, let's counter-press. Let's do it. Let's become a pressing team for 20. Because obviously when we made that tactic, we still had Gary Roberts in the team. We still had one of the young centre midfielders in. We had Joe Garner up front all the time. We still had weaker fullbacks. You know, you've got to bear those things in mind. But it doesn't look like we're going to win this game. We're going to shout at the lads. Should we encourage them? I mean, there's not much more we can do. We're going to be held to a draw. Doncaster have done exactly what they wanted here. They've held us off, and it is 1-1, and we are starting to have a bit of disappointment. So I'm going to point the finger. Let's not be too aggressive. A couple of the youngsters struggling, most of the others motivated. It's one of those things. We're going to lose the odd game, unfortunately, and we're going to drop the odd point like this. But we're still in that mix. It's a very tight league. No one's won more than 3 out of 4. And half the league's within 3 points of each other. Jack Clark, he's out for a week, so he will miss the trophy tie midweek. And I've just got to see if we can get Shotton in on deadline day. That's the only thing we've got left now. But I think we blew our chance with that one. We've got the international break off, so I don't know if our game next Saturday's called off just for that reason. Northampton's unbeaten run. Have they started well? Oh no, they've drawn every game, that's why. I really like Northampton. It's one of the grounds we went to a couple of times last year. I went to watch Northampton Crew and the Derby FA Cup tie. It's a really nice little ground. There's a lovely hotel across the road from it. And it's on a massive retail park with loads of outlets and that to eat and things. So it's a lovely ground to go to if you're looking for a ground hopping experience. Hopefully we'll be able to start them again soon. So it looks like Brian Murphy's not good enough. Recruitment assignment centre half. By a standout margin, the best one is Ryan Shotton, and he's also the cheapest. But I've blown it. Oh, he's going to talk now. Right, so let's use our brain here. We've got to find a way to free up some of the wage bill. We're not going to worry about the keeper for now. How do we get Shotton in? Jamie Jones is wanted. Right, we might have an option. He's wanted on loan. So Jamie Jones, let's loan him out. Coventry are a championship side. They can afford £2,000 a week. Then we can get Vickers in, because he's still on the confirmation list, I think, for £500 a week. That saves us £1,500. Gary Roberts is wanted, but I still think we need him for a bit of magic. But he might take a big wage cut. It's just whether these things happen in time. Right, Jamie Jones, 90% of the wages. Thank you, Coventry, saving the day. We'll let them 2 trialist keepers go. We'll accept Vickers as the backup. It's just whether we can get all this done in a day. It could be a blinding end, though. I always get excited for deadline day, because in the head coach, obviously, we can't have any say in it. So to be able to do it for the others is great. There's transfer deadline day. EFL Trophy clash, never any fans in, as you'd expect. And in the head coach this year, incidentally, I am looking at doing some live stream transfer windows later down the line. They went really well last year, so if I can match the times up with when I'm off work, then we'll do it again. It's just this Chris Merry. We can't get him out of the club either. He's been here for years. He hasn't really got the potential, so should we try and sell him as well? It's deadline day. A few clubs will panic, and hopefully they'll let us bring in some stars. Right, Merry's wanted by Glentoran. Oh, we'd love to help the Irish Premiership out as well. So let's send him there. 16 grand plus a 30% sell-on clause. Is he Northern Irish? Oh, he's English. So they must have increased their scouting range since we were at Cliftonville. I'm just looking at the wage bill to see is there anyone earning a wage that they shouldn't be really. So our backup players should not be among the highest earners. So I'm just seeing if any of these are willing to take a lower wage percentage. So Tom Pearce is on £3 a week. They still want 3, and you can't blame them. What about Joe Garner? Because he's getting on a bit now. £5 a week he's on. So will he accept a little bit less? Should we try? We'll try and get him in for 3.5 or something like that. Because I know it's still big money for him, but it makes such a big difference to the club. Oh, you legend. I mean, we might even be able to get him down a little bit more there. But what a brilliant bloke. The experienced one's really helping this club out. 3.4 grand a week. Nearly a 2 grand wage cut. I just need them to take it today. I need someone to go so I can get Ryan Shotton in. I've managed to sign Shotton. Long throws to come along. And you can bet your bottom dollar that's what I'll be doing off camera. Piggott's rejected Cheltenham. That's a pain. But if someone wanted him permanently, surely someone will want him on loan. So let's offer him. It's £600 a week. Jones is going to Coventry. We have liftoff. So Jones is there. They've made an offer for Matthew Connor as a keeper. No, we don't want him. Stop wasting my wage bill. Off he goes. Owen Evans, are we bringing in cover? Yes, Josh Vickers will be signing very soon. Merry's going to Glentoran, so let's get him off as well. And now, surely, with Ryan Shotton, and Merry's gone, so we can actually decrease the transfer budget a little bit, can we? No. But we've got £4 remaining on the wage bill, so surely we can offer Ryan Shotton now £2.5 a week. Please, Ryan, be good to us. Now he wants 3.9 because we've got more money available. But I mean, he's worth it. He's a first team player. So we'll try and get him down as much as possible. But we are not letting this deal fail because Ryan Shotton is a superstar. Let's go up to 3.2. £700 a week. And we'll just edge those down slightly. 3.4. I mean, we don't really want him earning more than Garner was. He's going to have 3.8, isn't he? He's going to have it. We'll bring the other bits down a little. But 3.8 grand a week. And Ryan Shotton should be a deadline day addition. As should Josh Vickers. And I think then we've got just about the best squad we could have possibly built in 3 weeks. To build that from a position where we couldn't make transfers 3 weeks ago is incredible. So let's go to the ends. Let's ask for confirmation on Josh Vickers as well. Because we need to get that second keeper in. And ideally, we want him to make his debut in the trophy tomorrow night. So Josh Vickers is joining £550 a week for a goalkeeper who was playing in League One last year. 35 appearances for Lincoln. 3-star. He's actually better than Evans. So he might become first choice. He's a model citizen. He is the best possible personality for a mentoring group. So after we go off camera, that's something we'll work on as well. I don't want to bore you with that while we're here. Josh Vickers in the squad. I've got to take somebody else out of the squad as well when Shotton comes in. I'm not sure who that's going to be yet. Do we plan to loan Sanders out? Yes, but only if they'll pay the wages. Chris Merry caused concern amongst Wigan. We just felt he wasn't good enough for us now. Yeah, he's not taking the next step. I wouldn't say Glentoran's a bigger club than Wigan, as much as I like the Irish League. And Ryan Shotton is joining. This is a big moment for us. It completes the squad. It gives a little bit of a strength in depth defensively. And I feel like it's going to help us to the top there. A brilliant addition, certainly. And the long throws is going to make a bit of a difference. So it could well be a nice finish to deadline day. 4-star ability, one of the best players at the club. He's rated as a right back there, but he is also natural at centre half, which is where we're going to use him. And he's the best centre half at the club as well. Who's he going in the squad for is the question. So is there anyone else we've got in the squad? I don't think so. It's going to have to be someone coming out. So if we put them in star ability order, and then we go back to selection info to make sure those at the bottom haven't played, I think it has to be Dan Gardner. Because we don't use an attacking midfielder. He's only got a deal till January and he's not very good. So let's put Shotton in for him. And that's going to be our 22-man squad. A brilliant addition to the side as well. We'll ask Roberts to welcome him. Oh, he's not very happy about that, is he? And how has our transfer budget been depleted? I mean, I'm not going to discuss the finances, but we never had one and we haven't used one, so we're happy. So as it looks like, we've finished our deadline day business and we're only 11:30. I will see if we can get ahead, if this process is quick enough through deadline day, and we'll play the Liverpool game. Just so we can see some of the players we don't normally get to see in action. And then I'll go through that week and a half off camera, just so we're not processing the whole time then. And we'll come back for league action. Jack Clark's a fantastic player. We're pleased Tottenham have sent him. And I suppose with a couple of hours left, we might as well go back to our parent club Tottenham, mightn't we? Just to see if they've got anyone they fancy sending us. They've put Bergwijn in the 23s. Bit ambitious, but was worth a go, wasn't it? Harvey White's still there. We said about a midfielder. No, they don't want to let him go. George Marsh is a centre mid. I don't know that he's good enough for this level, but he is natural in both positions. I think he's 21, so it'll be above the age limit. We needed an under 21, really. I don't think there's any more there that are suitable. Elliot Thorpe. He's 19, but he's not good enough. Have a look in the senior squad very quickly in case. Just in case they want to send us like a Tanganga or someone. Joe Rodon, he was available last time. He'll reject us again, I've no doubt. And this time they're not even willing to consider it. But I think that's a pretty successful transfer window. I don't think we can argue with it. I'm really pleased at what we've done. 3 weeks ago, we were losing players. We couldn't sign anyone. We were in financial dire straits. And it's asking us, was this deal in our hands? Well, yeah, we certainly wanted to do the deal. So to have this squad now is incredible. I'm really pleased with it. I hope you'll agree it's a side that possibly can compete for promotion. And we'll just wait and see if it's the case. We're through deadline day. We've done a really good job. We've got 2 new signings to introduce to the media. I'm delighted is the word. Yes, Vickers will make a good contribution. Ryan will be big for the club. What impact do you think the signing of Vickers will have? As a top player? We want all of our players to be stars. No, we remain calm because we were waiting for Jamie Jones to go. And we thank Coventry City for making us a profit on that one. So we have got the EFL Trophy tie to finish off the morning. Gary Roberts has taken a huge pay cut. What an absolute legend he is. Joe Garner looks like following suit. And we'll still keep an eye out for free agents. We can still sign them out of the window. So they're recommending wholesale changes. We're going to go and do exactly that. So if we go to the goalkeeping, we'll look at match sharpness as well, because that's something we've got to bear in mind. Darnell Johnson will start, I think, at right back or centre half. Where's he more natural? I don't really know which one's the best where. Craney's a good footballer, so I'd imagine as a ball playing centre half he's fine. But he's only accomplished there. So let's have Craney right back. Let's have Johnson centre half. The other centre back now would be Joel Lynch, because Shotton's actually fairly match sharp. At left back, we're going to have Cal Naismith or Tom Pearce. Doesn't matter which. In midfield, we'll come back to that. Up front's Will Keane, I think. Midfield, Jack Clark's not back to fitness. Otterbour's okay. Nathan Dyer's going to start on the right. Gary Roberts on the bench. Matty Palmer in midfield. Tunnicliffe started the last fruit and he's on a yellow card away from suspension, so we'll leave him for now. Can Naismith play in centre mid? He can't. Centre mid's still a little bit of an issue, isn't it? So we've got Sanchez, Tunnicliffe, Evans. Maybe I do have to start Gary Roberts in there. Or should we just put Naismith in? What's the worst that's going to happen, realistically? Naismith in centre mid. Over on the left wing, it's going to be... Who was the other one? Who's the left winger? I'm going nuts. I don't know who to put in. Should we put Gary Roberts in? We've got Hines, Otterbour. Well, Otterbour hasn't really started, so let's play him. It's a nice problem to have that we've got a whole squad to choose from. We'll put Gardner on the bench because he's not got a squad place for the trophy. And in midfield, sorry, it's going to be Naismith and Roberts in midfield, is it? No, Palmer's going to be in. Oh, I don't know what to do in midfield. Or should we put Roberts in as a number 10 and we'll play that way? Job done. Joe Garner on the bench because he won't keep his spot for long in the first 11. Caelan Hines will be there as well. And who else do we want? Tunnicliffe. Shotton, in case we can give him a debut. Curtis Tilt and Palmieri. There is no logic to that, but job done. That's the squad for today. Numbers going out for Vickers and Shotton. A very good squad, although a few are disappointed. I think we're in pretty good shape. It's Liverpool's under 23s, so let's see. You are joking. Look at that Liverpool side. Nico Williams and Reece Williams are on the bench. Alexander Arnold starting. Joe Gomez is starting. Nathan Phillips is starting. Jake Kane, one of our former Cliftonville heroes, is starting. As is Diogo Jota. What on earth is going on? They're playing. Why is Alexander Arnold not in the England squad to start with? That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. How are we supposed to play a competitive match when they're using it to give first team minutes to players? I'm disgusted by that. I cannot believe that we are playing against half of England's first choice back four. I really don't get it. Well, it's 2/5 of the back five now, isn't it? But still, the point stands. So we're going to have an advance forward for Will Keane. Oh, I'm flabbergasted now. I don't really know what to do with Naismith, to be honest. Roberts is going to go into the number 10 role. I'll just put Naismith as a playmaker because he's a decent footballer. And he's got a defensive mind. Palmer can be the box-to-box. Roberts can be the Engash, which is what he likes to be. And the back five will be like that. I don't think we can do any more. We are going to try and change up the tactics a little bit. We won't worry about the overlaps because we've got slightly slower, older fullbacks in, particularly on the right-hand side. We're going to whip crosses in. We're going to hit them early. We're going to run at the defence more because Dyer and Otterbohr are out-and-out wingers. We're going to counter-press. No, in fact, we're not going to counter-press because this side is a much more experienced one. So let's kick off like that. And we are coming up against England internationals galore. How on earth are they playing this side in the EFL Trophy? I don't understand it. I mean, I don't know how good Kane is in this game. He's not quite as good as when he came to us at Cliftonville. The other one is Diogo Jota up front is sensational. He's come off the bench in every Premier League game for them. Scored 2 in 2 in the Carabao Cup. And he's in the squad literally because he's under 23. Nathan Phillips at centre-half. He's still rated quite well, to be fair to him. And he's come off the bench in a Premier League game. And then Gomez and Alexander-Arnold, we all know plenty about. Both in an England and a Liverpool shirt. Solomon's coming forward here, though, for us. And if we can get past them two, as Otterbohr goes alone just off the bar. He skinned Alexander-Arnold and Gomez. They didn't know what to do with him. And after a quarter of the game, we're competing. It's a very good sign. As Palmer puts it into the box, to the back stick. Joe Gomez there to head away. And Longstaff picks it up on halfway. Trent Alexander-Arnold, close him down. He's England's first choice right back. Why is he not in the England squad? We're going to have to go and look at that. It doesn't make any sense at all to me. As Clarkson goes back. They're keeping it in the middle, Liverpool. It's nice football. It's a bit of a lower tempo. It's Premier League style, isn't it? Keeping it into Clarkson. Up to Miller. He's got two in the box. Tries to go alone. And it's just wide of the far post. A decent start for us. We're going to close down Arnold. And ask why on earth is he not in the England team? He started every Premier League match. Why is he not in this squad? Or is he? And is it just that they haven't gone off to join them yet? He is in the England squad. So how's he playing this game? Joe Gomez is as well. So we might have found a little glitch there because those two would not be playing in this trophy for anything other than a return from injury. Thank you to everyone coming along as well. Great to see so many of you still in. I hope you're still enjoying it on this lazy Saturday morning. It's the last game of the morning before the international break, which we haven't got a game because of our opponent having call-ups. And at half-time, we've competed with a Liverpool side consisting of two of England's back five. We've said we're not happy. The lads aren't pleased. Nico Williams has come on to arguably strengthen this team now. Oh, he's so good. He's had a massive upgrade. Why couldn't he have been this good when we were playing with Cliftonville last year? This is ridiculous. Their right wing is now Alexander Arnold and Nico Williams. They've got Gomez right centre half and Diogo Jota up front. And we're drawing 0-0 and competing. The lads should be so proud of this. As Savage comes down the left for them. In towards Nico Williams. And our former channel hero scores the goal. A Cliftonville legend. And now a Wigan nightmare. Nico Williams, within 7 minutes or 8 minutes of coming on, he's managed to get himself on the score sheet. Not the best start for us there. But an hour on the clock. Let's go and make a couple of changes. We have done as well as we can, to be honest. And it's a corner kick which Jake Kane takes. Another Cliftonville legend. And Nico Williams has suddenly become the best player in the world in the air. So let's make those changes. Quarter of the game to go. Otterbourne is knackered after a knock. So we'll bring on Caelan Hines. Gary Roberts in danger of losing his discipline. So on comes Dan Gardner. He will be advanced playmaker on attack. And what else can we do? Will Keane's been awful up front. I wanted to give Shotton his debut though. No, we'll leave it. Shotton can play in the league. Will Keane's off. Joe Garner's on. And he'll be a pressing forward on attack. We can now mix the crosses up again. So let's just try and get back into it. We've still got good players on the pitch, but we're basically playing against half of Liverpool's first 11 now. So Joe Gomez has gone out to left back. Phillips is still in at centre half. Alexander Arnold's now in midfield. This is really bizarre. But we've kept Diogo Jota quiet. I mean, the lads have got to be pleased with that. It's an incredible achievement. We've got 5 minutes left. We'll go positive just in case we can nick a goal. But it doesn't look like it's coming. A 1-0 defeat against a very good Liverpool side we cannot argue with. But we've still got the chance here. As Jota comes away, it looks like Liverpool are running down time. Jota over halfway. He's got 2 out left. It goes to Alexander Arnold, who's running up from centre mid. And we've got the England right back running at us now. The Portuguese centre forward there. Diogo Jota. It's a brilliant effort just wide. And how on earth are these in the EFL Trophy team? A defeat, a narrow one, against a very strong opposition. And to be honest, I'm pretty pleased with that performance. So I'm going to disagree. Hands together. It's one of those days. We've got a real mix of young players who are delighted with the praise and experienced players who want to win everything. It's a strange situation. We're going out of the EFL Trophy. We know that for sure. But that was a pretty good effort, I think. So Nathan Dyer made his debut. Josh Vickers and Martin Craney the same. I think we're in a pretty good position. So if we have a look at the schedule, after those games, we've got a really tough run coming up for the end of October. So after the international break, we've got Saturday, Tuesday games for the rest of the month. And those are the 5 games that we'll be showing in tomorrow's live stream. So I hope you're able to come and join me at around 10:30 again tomorrow. I really have appreciated your support this morning. And thanks to so many of you for putting a thumbs up and sticking along for so long. If you did enjoy it, please do support the channel. Please subscribe down below. Check out the videos. And of course, Bangor City will be back at 3:30 today. You can catch up with the series so far over on the channel if you've missed it. Thank you for your incredible support as always. And I'll see you tomorrow morning.